Hello and welcome to Lesson 7, Unit 4, Air. Again, small name but very important unit. Today you're going to learn about uses of air, what is wind, and fire. Yes, fire and air are connected. You are going to learn how. But before starting with the lesson, you have to check for some materials. The first thing you need to do this class is to watch this video. Also, you will need your My Pals Are Here 2A student book and My Pals Are Here 2A activity book. There are also some worksheets that you have to do in order to check how much you learn from this lesson. There are some also optional extra informational videos. You can watch them if you want. I recommend because I think they are super cool and you can learn a lot from them. Alright, but before starting with the new unit, can you make a connection between Unit 1, 2, 3 and Unit 4? Think about this. Alright, so in Unit 1, we talk about people. In Unit 2, we talk about animals. And Unit 3, we talk about plants. These three beings are living things. And of course, as you may know, they need air to live. Okay, so air is super important for us, but not only to breathe. You're going to learn how now. So I'm going to ask you please, to open your student book on page 46 and 47. Okay, so you should be watching this. Let's start with the Let's Find Out section. Remember that these are questions that you have to think about the whole unit. So there's no need to answer today. The first one is, what are the uses of air? We're going to talk about all this class. On the next class, we can learn about what is the difference between clean and polluted air. All right, the first thing that we can see is this picture. Our friends are on a beach, a beautiful beach. Here we have a boy asking two important questions. Can you see air? And where is air found? Well, you can pause the video and try to answer this. Well, the first one, to be honest, is no. We cannot see air. Air has no color, so it's invisible, in other words. But we know air is there, otherwise we wouldn't be alive. And air, where is air found? Well, almost everywhere in this planet. Okay, on that beach, in your room, when you go to school, when you go to the stadium, when you go to a museum, in all these places, there is air because we breathe. So you know that air exists first because you can breathe in and breathe out. But also when you do some things, like for example, Sue is flying a kite. There's no way this works without air. There's also a beautiful hot air balloon that flies on the sky, which uses air to work. There are boats, like that sailing boat on the back. And of course, one of my favorites is this barbecue. Hmm, a barbecue and air? Well, I'm going to explain that next. Please go to page 48 and 49. As you can see, we are still on a beautiful beach. But let's read the questions first. What helps the diver breathe underwater? Okay, as you can see on page 48, there is a diver, a person. This is called a scuba diver. And he's using something called air tank. Okay, remember that I said that air is almost everywhere on this planet? Well, for us, it's super difficult to get air underwater. We can't without help of this air tank. Fishes and plants has special uh, parts in order to get this air, but we people cannot. It's impossible. So we need to use a special tool called air tank that has air inside. Okay. Also, uh, as you can see, Dr. Atom is floating on a rubber ring on the ocean. Rubber rings have air inside, so you can float. Okay. Next question is what helps the sailboat move? Here we have two words that are combined. Okay. We have boat, which you understand, and sail. Sail is the object. In Spanish, we call it vela. La vela de un barco. So the sailboat is the whole machine, the whole object. But the sail is what catches air, specifically catches wind. Yes, there is a difference. Wind wouldn't exist if air doesn't move. When air moves, it creates wind. So when you see on a garden or on a park the trees of a leaf or the flowers move, it's because of air, or in this case, wind. So that's why Sue says it's very windy today. So on page 49, you can see two boys seated around a campfire. Well, there's a connection between air and fire. Fire wouldn't exist or wouldn't burn without air. So this is why they are super good friends. Imagine fire is a living thing. It's not, but imagine it is. Air would be food for fire. So no air, no fire. As simple as that. At home, there's a section called Science at Home that I really recommend to do, but you have to do it with an adult, not alone. Okay? This is important because it's an experiment that needs fire to work. So I recommend you do this, but only with an adult. Also, something that you can do at home would be the explore section. In this case, you have to take a straw and blow into a glass of water, and you will see something that is super nice, which is connected with this unit. Of course, the word bank so far is air, wind, but we also have sailboat, campfire, air tank, and diver. Let's continue on the next pages. So far today we have been talking about some uses of air. The first thing that you already know is that we need air to breathe. A diver and an astronaut also need air to breathe. In the space, there's no air, so it's super difficult to be there. That's why scuba divers and astronauts need an air tank in order to be there. Also, we have that some things or objects need to be filled with air to work. This means that inside of these objects there is air, like balloons or the football. And also we understand that sailboats need wind to move. Wind is moving air. So wind can move some objects. This is another use. And the last one that we're going to learn from this lesson is that air is needed for burning. Okay? So as you can see in that picture, that would be the experiment that you have to do. I recommend it to do it, but with an adult. Okay, now I need you to open your activity book on pages 16 and 17. You can pause the video, do it by yourself, and then we can check together. Okay, so in this activity, we have uses of air. In letter A, you have to color the activities that uses air. Okay, the right answer for this are letter A, letter C, letter D, letter E, letter F, and letter H. All these activities need air in order to work. In letter B, you have to look at the pictures again, group the activities in the table below, and you have to write the letters. So the first one says we need air to breathe. In this case, the correct answer is letter D, the scuba diver. The next one says some things need wind to move. In this case are letter E, the sailboat, and letter H, okay, the windboard. The next one says we need air to burn things. And here we have letter A, the barbecue, and letter C, the campfire. The last one says some things need to be filled with air to work. Remember that fill with means that inside of this object there is air. And the correct letter is letter F. So today we learned that we need air to live. We breathe in and we breathe out. Also, we learned that we can't see air, but we know it exists because first we can breathe. That also we learned that we use air to do different things, like to fly a hot air balloon, to play football, to turn on a campfire, and to scuba dive. And also you learn that fire needs air to burn. Okay, I think that's all for today. I hope you had fun and we see you on next class. That will be all. Bye bye, compadre.